this is a video I don't exactly want to make. I think there is one way out, though. There's one way out, and I don't care where you are on the spectrum or on the whatever you want to call it. If you're, I've made a decent amount of money, and I'm in the same boat as is someone who hasn't made any money yet, or who's not making any money, or someone who's just getting started. The only exception I would say is if you have some type of inheritance, if you have family wealth, but for the majority of us, this is where we're at. And I'll tell you the problem, and I'll tell you the only solution, because I don't think it's not we're not in a time where we have, we can do this, or we have all these other options. There's one option. There's absolutely one option. And if you have a different point of view, or if you can think of something else, by all means, share it with myself, with the rest of anyone else watching this video in the comments. Share it. I see one of the things that disturbs me. I see a lot of videos that say, you know, guys shouldn't have kids, they shouldn't get married, they shouldn't get in relationships, they should be by themselves. Okay, number one, let's just put that aside. I think it's bad advice, but I understand it. Okay, here's the problem: most guys do get married, most guys have kids, most guys have responsibilities. Okay, and I think the number one thing is the problem with that advice, or that route, is that kind of enhances this stereotype right now that women or society has against men, is that they're lazy, they're self-absorbed, they play video games all day, and they're not taking care of what they need to take care of. We have to go a step farther. Okay, we have to go a step farther, and it's not enough anymore to just work hard, do what you need to do. One of the things I would challenge anyone on, and this is what I tell myself all the time too, is while we're complaining about stuff, we're complaining about, people, guys will complain about women, about responsibilities, about bills. Well, let me ask you this. What did your grandpa do? What did your grandpa do? How did he handle this stuff? Now I'm 45. So my grandparents, and they're gone, but they're from the greatest generation, right? And that's one of the, now that's not the answer. This isn't the answer I'm telling you, but we have to start looking to them for the broad answers. Those are guys that went to work, they did what they need to do, they handled themselves, and they didn't cry and whine about things. And that's one of the problems we're having right now with our generation, is that there's so much pressure on guys, is that it's causing a lot to just complain. Okay, and that's definitely not the answer, and that's making it worse. Right now, if we don't do something now, we're doomed to just fall into this abyss of in the stereotype of what people think that guys are, or what women or society, whatever. Society doesn't care about us, and that's okay. That's okay. There's actually, what I find that's actually very relieving in the sense. Now, one thing before I get into that, I will tell you, is anyone who watched my channel knows I'm 45, I've got 4 kids, I'm married, I've got all the responsibilities. But I can tell you this, even though I've made some money, it's no different than someone who's just getting started, someone who's I'm still on the grind, guys. I'm still on the grind, and I will continue being on the grind. And the only way out right now, the only way out is hard work. That's it. I know most of you guys, not most of you guys, actually, people watching this channel will probably embrace that. I would say embrace that. My interactions with the people watching my channel so far are that they are hard workers. They are people that take responsibility. But unfortunately, there's a lot of guys out there that do not want to hear that. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you want to hear it or you don't want to hear it. Or if you want to hear it, I don't know what I just said. If you want to hear it or you don't want to hear it, okay? That's the answer. Now, here's the thing, though, too. Now, let's just add on to that for people who say, well, it's not just that easy. Well, I do agree with that. It's not that easy, because right now, the way things are set up, it's not so easy. You don't just stroll in, like, even like our parents, well, my parents' generation, for those of you, 40 and older, for our parents' generation, they can roll into, around here in Michigan, they can roll into one of the automotive plants, get a good job, work, get great benefits, get good pay, raise a family, and then retire and get a pension. Well, guess what? That doesn't exist anymore, right? We know that. So let's just, again, that goes right off the table. For our parents, they said, well, we got an education, not my parents, but a lot of parents educate, a lot of people as parents, they got education, they went to school, paid themselves through school, got jobs. That's not that easy to do anymore. You can't I don't have a college education, but I understand, I know what it's all about. You can't pay your way through college anymore. Hell, I couldn't pay for college if I wanted to go back to college for any reason, for any type of specialized education, because I couldn't pay for it, take time off work and all that. So it's like, once you get to a certain age, I know people say, well, people like to say anything's possible. You can do anything. Yes and no. You can't, I know, like a lot of guys in the same positions as I am, you can't just take off. And most guys in general can't take off, you know, a week at a time and go to class. And, again, it's just not easy. Is it impossible? No. Is it that easy? No. But here's, I think, where we need to start. This is where we need to start, is we need to, number one, the answer, guys, is hard work. That's the answer. It's hard work. And I don't care what you do. I don't care. Start right where you are. If your house is a mess, get your house cleaned up. Is your apartment a wreck? Get it cleaned up. Are your finances a mess? Start one at a time. Call one of your credit card companies and deal with it. Get a late fee taken off. Start right where you're at. Okay? You're not going to be able to solve if you have years of bad decisions or years of things that piled up. You're not going to solve it all in one day. But guess what? You can solve it in a year. And I can tell you this, and this is from experience, 1 year can make a big difference. You could turn it around in a year. Now, I know people will say, well, create a 3-year plan, create a 5-year plan. Again, from experience, I think, at least for me, trying to think 1 year, past 1.5 years out in advance, it doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work, and I know there's companies that do 100-year plans, all that. Okay, fine. I don't know. I don't get it. But here's the thing. When you're moving fast and you're accomplishing something, you're moving forward, so much changes that a year from now, your situation will be so different. And you might not believe me on that, but I don't even want to say, oh, trust me, it will. No, just do it and you'll see. If you're doing stuff, you're making progress and you're increasing your income, you're putting more hours at work in your business, whatever it might be, you're just getting more done. Around your house, you're getting more done. Around your business, around your work, with yourself, working out. If you're getting more done, 365 days from now, it will be so different that you will create another plan for the following year. You can't make a 3-year plan from right where you are right now, unless you got your stuff all together, and then you say, well, then I'm going to do this step and this step. That's fine. But if you're not, then forget the 3-year plan. Forget the 5-year plan. Just work on a 1-year plan. Hell, work on a 6-month plan or a 30-day plan, okay? Because it will if you plan for too long in advance, at least what I've tended to do too is I think, well, I've got a 3-year plan, so I can take off today. But when you think like, okay, I got 1 year, I've got 1-year plan, I got to get going now. Or if I'm like, hey, I got to do in the next 6 months, I got to do this, or in the next 30 days, I got to do this, then that puts a sense of urgency right now. I can't take the rest of the day off today. Like even like the rest of the day today, I'm going to get going on my stuff. Guys, we've got no time to lose. And no one's coming to our rescue. Here's the thing. No one's coming to our rescue. We got to do it ourselves. Like it or not, circumstance or not, whatever the economic circumstances are, whatever whatever climate we're in, whatever your personal circumstance, it doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. We got to go from where we are now to where we want to be. So over the next over this year, let's work towards it. All right? And we'll wrap it at that.